Hello, my name is Helen. I'm going to take you through a quick full body workout. This is my second time through because I made a major mistake at the end when I filmed the last time. Anyway, we're going to start with a warm up just to prepare both physically the body and mentally the mind to work out. And then we're going to go through the main workout. We just do 2 rounds and that is it. And then we'll finish at the end with the stretch, which you have allowed time for a 30-minute workout. So don't just decide to not do the stretch. You've got the time for it. We prepare the mind at the start, and then we place stress on the body, and then we want to calm the nervous system again at the end and help re-lengthen the muscles. So let's start with our warm-up. So we're going to start with warming up the wrist. Think of putting the fingers down and then making as big a circle as you can, and then pull the fingers back and then circle again. So it's quite slow, but as big a circles as you can. And then just circle in the other direction. You might get a couple of little clicks. We have got some wrist bearing on these today, on these things, these wrists. And then a warm up the shoulders, bring your hands to your shoulders, and then again, slow circles on the elbows. Slow as you can, nice big circle, again, clicks. It's pretty normal as long as you're not getting pain, and then circle back the other way. Speaking of pain, throughout this whole workout, I want you to make sure you don't experience pain. You might get discomfort, like burning sensations, but we shouldn't have any pain. And then swing the arms forward and back. I'm going to try and show you as many different options so you can take a level that suits you. So I won't necessarily go through the whole thing with you, as I will be trying to coach you for, I don't know who's watching in front, so I'm going to try and get it for a level for everyone. But hopefully there'll be something for you. And this one at the moment, you want to be feeling a stretch of your chest as you pull the arms back. Side bends, reach up and bend, and then switch sides. Make the bend feel good. So if it's smaller than mine or bigger than mine, please go. We tend to not move our backs that much throughout the day. We tend to mostly be sitting here and maybe bending a little bit. So this is good to sometimes just move the spine in the ways it's designed to move. Perfect. Coming to squat, take your feet wide and hips, toes slightly down. Drop your hips back and down and then stand up. Back and down and stand up. So not just the knees bending, but the hips also bending. You're aiming to almost imagine you're testing to see if there's a chair behind you to sit into. Your squats may not be deep. Right at the start, they might be smaller, but it's the same technique. Hips, ankles, and knees bending. Alternating tap back. Take a long step back, tap the toe towards the floor, stand up and switch to the other leg. So tap back, step in. Tap back, step in. Now this is a really nice option that can sometimes replace a lunge. So if you find you get issues with your knees, a tap back is a nice option because we do have some lunges in this workout. So take the tap back if you need. Coming to push-ups on the knees. So even if you can't do it on your toes, come to your knees. Either all fours, hands wider than the chest. Shift your weight into your hands, bend your elbows and straighten. If you want a little bit more, hands further forward, hips further forward, and same thing, drop your chest between the elbows. So you just bend the elbows as you drop between and straighten as you push the floor away. We do them on the knees in the warm-up because it wants to feel easy. So box if you need to. Then coming back up again, warming up the wrist. Let's repeat a second round. Nice slow circles. And you should notice just a little increase in your heart rate. Your body's feeling a little bit warmer. Switch directions. Starting to move into some of the positions we're going to be going into in the workout. And then warm up the shoulders. You can again have hands on the shoulders, or you might like to do big full arm circles. And then back in the other direction. Oh, always it just feels good to start moving. Going back to that dynamic chest stretch, just swing the arms forward and back, and as your arms are pulling back, that's where you feel the pull on your chest. It's one of my favourite things to do, just day to day. I think it feels amazing. I wish nothing but the best Perfect. Twist this side. So feet hip distance. You're going to twist your torso side to side. It might be small little twists. That might feel good. It might feel better to go bigger. You might just let the arms go floppy to have it swing round. The main thing is that we're moving rather than trying to twist and hold a position. Just moving in a nice way through the spine. Squats again. This time try adding a little pause at the bottom. So you're going to squat down, a little pause before you stand up. And each time, now we're trying to find a bit more range. So you're going to try to squat your hips a little bit lower. And if you're ever not sure, you know, so it's like tapping to see if there's a seat behind you. Try using a seat and then squat, just tap your bum, stand up, squat, just a little tap of the bum and stand up. This time alternating backward lunges, so go to the tap back if you need, and if not, drop your knee towards the floor. Step in and switch your legs. Your feet should stay hip distance at the front, step back hip distance, and you keep your weight over your front leg. So that's going to help with your balance rather than leaning backwards and forward. You're just permanently balancing on your front leg. Perfect. Tricep push-up this time. So this time, hands under the shoulders, elbows back towards the ribs. So come down to the floor. Modify plank position on your knees, elbows back towards your rib cage, and push yourself back up. So pointing the line of the elbows forward, the bending pointy part of the elbows backwards, and you keep them close to the body. So if you're needing to, your knees are closer, you're still pointing them backwards and keeping the weight on the hands. Perfect. Just tuck your toes under, lift your hips to a downward dog. Maybe paddle out the feet a couple of times. And then lunge your right foot outside your right hand. Hit the knee above the ankle, help if you need. Then lift your right hand and twist towards your thigh. Drop your right elbow down towards the floor. It might touch, it might not. Plant the hand, downward dog. Other side, left foot outside the hand. If it doesn't quite go there, drop the right knee down, help it with your hand. Maybe even keep the knee down as you add your twist. And then drop the elbow towards the floor. Downward dog. Maybe add a paddling out the feet. And then repeat. Right foot, right arm. I believe this is called the world's greatest stretch because it stretches so many parts. It's moving dynamically. Oh, I've got time for one more each side. No, I'm gonna do it. So coming up, have a little sip of water if you would like. Every exercise we could do is going to be for 10 seconds. We're going to do legs, arms, abs, full body, legs, arms, abs. Break, repeat it all the second time. Second time round is the one to really get into it. The first one is kind of sometimes getting familiar, seeing how it feels. Now you know how it feels, second round you go better. So we're going to start with a lunge. You have options. Again, if you want to go to a tap back instead, tap back and in, please stick with that. The further you tap back and lean into your leg, the harder you're going to work in. If not, step back and drop your knee towards the floor and stand up. Drop down, stand up. The whole time, think of just shifting your weight into whatever your front leg is, and then balancing on it the whole time. So your moving leg is pretty light on the floor. I always say right leg, so for me, I'm working my right leg at the moment, moving the left, but it doesn't matter which leg you pick because we're literally going to switch straight after this. Now you've got the options to stay or add a jump. You're going to lunge and jump, all on the same leg for the final 30 seconds. So that is something that is an advanced option. It's not going to be for everyone. The tap back might be for you, the stepping might be for you, and the jump might be for you. Pick the one that makes you feel challenged, and everyone's legs should be burning now, really burning, wanting to break. Doesn't matter which level you picked. Have a little shake off. Also, sometimes the thing to consider is your neighbours or people you're living with, if you have that jump or not. So let's do the other side. Think again, shift your weight, balance on the leg, and then lunge, tap, lunge, and tap. So even as you tap in, it's a tap rather than shifting your whole weight on it. So again, that again doesn't help with your balance if you have to keep changing which leg you're in or changing which leg you're balancing on, going forward and back. Always permanently balancing on one leg, moving the other leg, whether it's a tap or a lunge. Again, the further you tap or the closer you get your knees to the floor, the harder. Halfway option if you like to add the jump. Now just notice if you're jumping, if it means you lose your range. So if you're jumping, you're just up here, then try and get your knees close to the floor, maybe even tap it down. Even if you slow it down at the bottom, still get that depth if you can, please. You've got another 10 seconds to go. And again, everyone's legs should be burning. Doesn't matter what level you're at, you should feel a bit fatigued and a burning sensation. Perfect. Have a little shake off. Go into push-ups. Normal push-ups are hands wider than chest, in line with the chest, down on the floor. So you can try toes. I always say it's worth a try. Drop your chest between. Push yourself up, locking in your body so your whole body moves as one unit. If you can drop down, but then you can't get up, then put your knees, push back up again. And if you need to, knees down the whole time. And if you need to, knees are in underneath the hips. And then sometimes it's nice to use an incline. So it might be that you've got something like a sofa or something like that that can make it so you're a little bit higher, so a little bit less of your weight. You can do that on the toes or on the knees. Now the things to watch for is the body stays neutral. And it's just, your body only goes down and up because of your elbows bending down and up. The head should neither be drooping nor lifting, as that tends to cause some movement of the hips. Just keep it neutral, looking down to the floor. Got another 6 seconds to go. 1 or 2 more reps. Push-ups, tough. Perfect, roll over. Coming to sit-ups. So full sit-ups if you can. Feet in closer will be more challenging. Straighter will be easier. Now aim if you can, hands on opposite shoulders. Lift the head off the floor, tucking the chin, and then crunch up. Then from the crunch, keep on coming up to a full sit-up, elbows onto the knees, and then roll yourself back down again. And then repeat. Now that is tough, so if you need to, remember you can straighten your legs. You might also want to reach your arms forward so it helps act as a bit of a counterbalance. And if that's a struggle, you can swing yourself up to full sit-up position and roll yourself back down. If you're not able to do the full sit-up, you've got 2 options. You can either just stick to the crunch, so crunch up as high as you can, make a little pause and lower down. Or bring your thighs towards you, rock forward and back so you'll come up to sitting, but then work on the downward phase. And when we work on the downward phase, eventually we should be able to do a full sit-up. Got another 4 seconds to go. Perfect. Come on up off the floor. Burpees with the option to either push up or not. Take your feet hip distance. Like you do a squat, place your hands flat on the floor. Jump or step your feet back into a plank, shoulders over wrists. Jump or step your feet in towards your hands into a squat, get the butt down, and you can stand up or jump up and land to repeat again. So if you want to, you step, hands flat, step into plank, step into your squat and stand up, or you can jump. Now, if it's too much, again, 2 options. You can place just right hand to floor, step right leg back, step right leg in, stand up. Now switch, left hand, left leg. Or you can use an incline. So maybe use something like your sofa or a chair to either step back or jump into your push-ups. My alarm's going off because I know we have a client now. I'm going to find a... Sorry. Oh, got away from doing burpees though, didn't I? Right, going to the squat pulses. Take your feet wide and hips. Squat down as low as you can, like going to a regular squat. And now stay. Come up just halfway. Go down again. Come up just halfway. Down again. Do you see the slow pace I'm going? So it's quite a decent move. It's not that it's really so small that you barely see it. It's also not really, really fast. So it's down halfway up. Now the challenge is the entire minute right at the bottom range. If bottom range is too tough for you, come halfway and then go up a quarter, halfway and up a quarter. And then naturally, without me even saying anything, if you needed a break, you'd have stood up and shaken off your legs and then join in again. Of course, take the option if you need to. Normally, your legs can do more than your brain can. So when you think I need to have a break, Try and do at least one more pulse and then have a break and shake. And yeah, hoping once again that the legs are burning. At least we can do both legs same time this time. We don't have to do one then the other. Yeah, perfect. Well done. Can we do tricep push-ups this time? So this time it's hands under the shoulders and elbows back towards the ribs. So you point the elbows backwards to be able to tuck them into your sides. Coming into plank position. On your toes if you can, elbows back towards your ribs and push yourself back up. And it's same options as the push-ups. It might be that you can lower down on the toes and then you need to put the knees down to push back up. You might need to do the whole lot on your knees. You may need to scoot your knees in. You still need to please shift your weight forward into the hands and you just push your elbows backwards. They might not come all the way to the ribs. And you've also got the option to use your incline. Hands under shoulders, elbows in and back. You can use things like kitchen size as well for stuff like this. Now, the tricep push-ups are harder than the push-ups because we were using less of the chest, which is the big muscle, and more of the backs of the arms, which is smaller. So your shoulders and your triceps will be hurting much more. They're tougher, so don't be worried if you had to drop down to your knees or take a break. Yeah, perfect. And then roll over to your back, please. Coming to alternate V-sit. So lie flat on the floor with your legs extended and your arms over your head. You're going to do a full sit-up, and as you do, lift both your arms and lift one leg. And then lower yourself back down and switching the leg. Full sit-up onto your bum and then lower down. That is tough to do. So if the straight leg's too much, bend your knee as you pull in. You might find that a little bit easier. If you were able to do sit-ups and you can't do this, check if your leg's gone too high into an L-sit. If it has, you just need to drop your leg more. If you weren't able to do sit-ups, you will really struggle with an alternate V-sit. So in that case, just lift one leg, straight or bent, and then just go for a crunch. So your bum will, your lower back will stay down. Rather than coming up onto your bum to a full sit, but you're still working the exact same muscles. So make this work again. Take the option that is suitable for your challenge. It doesn't mean once you've started one you have to stick to it. You might start on one, need to mix and match a little bit between the two. Whoosh, and relax, shake off, shake, shimmy, shake off. That is one full round done. We got one round to go. Round two, you now know everything that's coming. Hopefully you know your options. And so now you just do it better. So you'll notice on the lunges, the first time I said 30 seconds dynamically stepping back and in, 30 seconds the option to jump. You out there who are advanced, I challenge you to do a full 60 seconds of jumping. I'm not saying you might not need a break, but give it a go. So let's go. So it might be that you're jumping the entire minute, or you've got the option again to step, or you've got the option to do the tap back. But again, that's hopefully the options that we've got for beginner, intermediate, and advanced. Now, if you want to do what you did in the first round, start with the lunges and halfway, do the jumping, perfect, do that as well. So you see what I mean? You've got like, you should always, every class you do, just take a bit of ownership over what you want. So you're halfway. If you want to add the jump now, add the jump. If you're jumping, you'll be especially like dying much more than you were the last time. Just try and keep coming. Even if it means you had a longer pause at the bottom before you jump. You can even pause, rest the knee down, and then explode and jump. It still means you're getting that explosion off the floor. You always take autonomy for your workout and your body, choosing options that feel right. And sometimes you'll modify yourself in a way that I've not thought of. That's good too. So if it feels good for you, have a little shake off. Autonomy is good work, I think. Yeah. Oh. Other side. If you did one leg, you gotta do the other leg. So try and match what you did. So if you started with a jump, start with a jump again. Down and up and down and up, or stepping backwards and in, or tapping. There's nothing wrong with a tap. There's again with the different levels, it might be that your tap is smaller and you still get that equivalent burning sensation. It's perfect. Might be further, might be dropping. There is no right or wrong way of doing an exercise. Like not every single person that's following along is going to do the exact same thing. if I was to have you on a class, you're halfway want to start jumping. If I'm having a class and I say the challenge, everyone would look slightly different. That's going to be the same for everyone at home. And never feel like if you're not doing one level that yours is wrong. It's not, it's right, it's perfect. Got 15 seconds to push through. Remember, we've got quite a big break before we do legs again. So you can keep going. You got this. 5 seconds. This is round 2 of 2. You don't see this again. Perfect. Coming push-ups. I challenge you again to try one on the toes, because what's the worst thing that happens? Just put your knees down before you even tried it. So it's not the end of the world. So spread the hands. Make sure you shift your weight. So you think about 80% of your weight is over your hands rather than your legs. You'll feel that. And then bend your elbows. Push away. Bend and push. Check that your head isn't drooping nor lifting, because what that tends to do is you drop your head and your hips tend to lift up, and then you lift your head and they tend to sag. So we're trying to keep it so everything stays in the line between your tailbone and your head. You are halfway advanced. If you're finding this quite easy, please add a longer pause at the bottom. So come down and pause, 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 and push. You take control of that pause. If you want to do a longer pause, it'll be harder. Short pause, easier. Everyone, you've got 15 seconds to go. If you haven't tried one of the toes, but you think it is possibly within the realms of possibility, give it a go. The amount of times I've thought I can't today, and then I have, it's often. Oh, well done. Roll onto your back for sit-ups. Choose your level. Hands on opposite shoulders if you can. Now, a common thing I see is people try and do this really fast, and they bounce off the floor like this. So they use the floor to bounce them out of this bottom range, and it's this bottom range here that goes from crunch to sit-up that's the hardest part. So try not to bounce out of it. The other way people tend to make it easier is by swinging the arms back, or if they've got hands on the temples, just swinging the elbows in. Again, it just helps get out that difficulty part between the crunch and the sit-up. So please use that option if you struggle with sit-ups. Advanced though, I really encourage you to do it so slow at the bottom bit with the crunch, and then smoothly lift off and so on the way down. Don't worry if your feet lift up a little bit. The sit-up does also work a little bit with your quads and your hips, and that's when it's just trying to help you get up as smooth as you can. Although, of course, you can rock. Perfect. Jump yourself up. Burpees. Burpees. Burpees you're aiming for. A squat, a plank, and a squat. So flat hands, please. Try not to be up on your fingertips if you can avoid it. Squat down, jump or step back. Find a plank. Jump or step in, but squat to stand up again. Now, a lot of you will do a regular squat and then suddenly do a burpee and you're in a plie like this, or sometimes even just lifting up, jumping in and being on the balls of your feet. So I really encourage you to find a strong position where you squat. That means you're going to have to push harder into the hands. Use your abs to pike yourself up to give enough space for your legs to land in between. It is tougher, but you're tough. You're halfway. Please take the options if you need to use an incline to either jump or step. And you might even like to do a sweet in between here where you put your hands down, maybe step back into a plank and jump into a squat and jump or stand up. There's levels. You've got less than 10 seconds to go. If you're hitting the floor, remember, try not to worm. 30 seconds in 2 and 1. Very nice. Squat pulses. Right. Did you manage the whole minute last time? So then you know you can do it. Ready? 3, 2, 1. We're in. Squat. And then pulse. And then pulse. And this is what I mean. We were doing it at home. Hands back to I'll do this and talk. Can I go and gesture and multitask? You're doing this at home, and everyone's going to look at different levels. So someone might be up here higher, someone might be down lower. But what you know for a fact is everyone's legs burn. There's absolutely no one that will go through this and think, oh, this is really easy on my legs. And if you are thinking that, please just try and go a little bit lower, a little bit deeper into your squat, just watching that you don't lose your form or lift your hips. It's the butt goes down, chest stays up. Got another 20 seconds to go. So maybe the burn kicks in at a slightly different level for everyone, but I feel like I can guarantee everyone's legs are burning now, yes? especially after those lunges. Just it's round 2 of 2. Got another 8 seconds to go. Taking a breath and breathe out, try and go a little bit deeper. A little bit deeper. 3, 2, 1. Ay, ay, ay. Shake off your legs. Tricep push-ups. Remember hands. And then screw them in so the bony part of the elbow will point backwards. Fine plank. What I notice some people when they're plank do is they drop their hips quite a bit. If you think about doing a mountain climb, so pulling your knee under your body, see how that scooped up my abs? I went from here and then pulled in. Now my hips are a little bit higher. Better to have the hips too high than too low. So you want to really think about scooping up and lifting up through your abdominals. Got 40 seconds to go. Same option, please, if you're advanced, to try and have a little pause, maybe 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then push. Same options, knees in, use an incline, please. If you need to at 20 seconds, do tricep push-ups again, harder than regular push-ups. So take a break if you need to, take a child's pose. Whatever you need to, just shake off and try again. When you need a break, it doesn't mean you're done. You quite possibly just need a little break and then you can go in again. We're about to be done. Alternate V-sits. Stretch your legs out. Lying flat with your arms over your head. Let's go. Coming up to a full sit-up, lifting one leg. Whoosh. I say full sit-up, it's like 3/4 of the sit-up. Now, if you are advanced and you want more, try a full V-sit, so that's both legs same time. And then lower yourself back down. Both legs same time and lowering back down. If you're in betweeny, try doing one right leg, one left leg, and then one both legs. Whoosh. And you could do that same thing as well with a bend knee if you needed. Bend knee. Or it might be that you could do straight leg right, straight leg left, and then both knees bent leg for the double. You've got 20 seconds to go. After this 20 seconds, we're completely done other than stretch. So let's really get those abs fatigued. Final push. And relax. Just take a moment to just stretch your arms overhead. Stretch your legs out long and arch your back away from the floor. Feel the stretch in your belly. And now hug your knees in towards your body. Give your knee a bit of a squeeze. You might like to rock a little bit or move or just hold. Feel a release of your back. And then either roll to your side or rock forward or back so we can come up to sitting. And you can do the stretch. You can start from kneeling if you like or stand up. We're going to stretch. We stretch everything for about 30 seconds. That gives it enough time for it to actually take an effect. So stretch your right arm up, bend it, and pull on it till you feel the stretch down the back of the arm. You might prefer to hold on to the fingers if you can reach them. So sometimes people stretch, they just go stretch, stretch, and that's it. That's what we do at the start. Stretching dynamically, just a little bit, just to warm, just to start moving the muscles. But now we want to lengthen them. So it's around about now that you might feel the one that you want to stop, but it's around about now that your muscles start to be like, oh, I can start to relax. That's what we're aiming for. Then that little longer hold. Switch arms. Na 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 la 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 la. Wonder where that's coming in my head. Don't know. And stretch your chest. You might want to pull the elbows down and back, spread the chest, or maybe bring the hands onto the lower back, squeeze your elbows to one another, or maybe lace the fingers behind, do what feels good. Do you know how many of my clients I know that come to my classes or PT clients and they say, do you know what, I did, I stopped the stretch. And then, I was in the kitchen and I didn't do it, and then I ate loads the next day. I don't know why we're in such a rush to go to the next thing in life. It's nice to have a little pause. Hold on just like if you need to. Quad stretch. Again, you're allowed the time. So what's another few minutes? Just pause, chill, take some breaths. Make their body feel good. Dum, 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 dum. I think we're always just so on the go that we're like, we've done the effective bit, let's go on to the next thing. And switch legs. That's about balance. If we just stress, we need a bit of calm. Give that little pause. What has it been like? 3 minutes, 4 minutes, maybe, to just. Then you can go on to the next stress if you want. We can go sit on the sofa and chill. Well, I hope you enjoyed the workout. I hope you got a good workout. I hope you found a level that was appropriate for you. And the good thing is about doing workouts is I often find the first time you do it, you're like, oh, how much energy do I need to have? Second time is where you normally do better. So maybe even trying a second time and seeing where you improve. So just have a little shake off, give yourself a big round of applause, a pat on the back. Well done for doing it. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed. If you've got any questions, any feedback, any updates, any notes about progress, anything at all, do let me know. I love hearing from you. But thank you and hopefully see you soon.